So I've been putting off this video for a really long time just because I really hate doing videos where my face is shown. Today is also going to be 30 degrees Celsius, and so it's going to be hot, hot, hot. I've got like a little air conditioning unit next to me, so I've got to kind of turn it on in between filming. You'll also hear cars driving down the road because I've obviously got my window open a bit just so the air conditioning can kind of flow out that. But yeah, so I hate videos like this. I really like when I just have my hands because I feel like that's so much easier and it's so much less intimidating. And then I also hate seeing my face when I'm talking to you. So I'm going to try and get over that because I have quite a few videos coming up where I'm going to share products with you. I've got a whole bunch of different kinds of products to kind of share and compare. So if you watched my last video, you'll have seen that I got a new die cutting machine. So I'm going to compare that with the Big Shot. So I'll do a little review and compare. Today I'm going to focus on LOKLiK. So I have got a heat press, as you can see here, and the rest of my office is a total disaster. So bear with me, like it is such a mess in here and it's just too hot and now the kids are off of school. So it is what it is. You're going to see my messy office in these review videos because there's not much I can do about it. There's also going to be more talking. So if you're not into talking and you don't want to sit through a video and you don't want to speed me up on like fast play, then please just ignore these videos. If you want to know more about different products that are slightly cheaper than the sort of name brand products, then that's what I'm going to be doing. So I have got my heat press. I've also got a sublimation heat press, tumbler press from LOKLiK that I'll be sharing as well. I've also got as I said, the die cutting machine. I've got some paints that are apparently amazing paints, but they are like a cheaper brand and they're available on Amazon. I've got some engraving machines hopefully coming, which I'll be sharing with you as well. I thought this would be a great way to share with you some products that are fairly new to the market and also not as expensive as the branded ones that have been around for a while longer. And I will post these not on a Wednesday and not on a Saturday, so you won't be missing any of my regular content. These will just be extra sort of bonus videos. Now, if I'm looking funny at the camera, I apologize. I really hate it when it's on my face. So I'm looking all over the place and I can't stand when I watch back videos like this where you're just like, you know, everyone's eyes are everywhere. But I'm really struggling to work out where the camera is on my phone and to look at it. It's also really intimidating, even though it's like a really tiny circle. It's so intimidating to look at. Anyways, I've got this LOKLiK heat press and that's what I'm going to be focusing on today. I'm going to try really hard to kind of do a mix between what I'm doing on my computer and kind of record that, as well as what I'm doing here at my desk and how I'm using it. Now, I've had this for about 3 months, so I apologize to LOKLiK because they sent it to me a very, very long time ago, and life got kind of hectic and busy, and I was using it. I have used it loads, and I feel quite worried about when I get new products, especially when I've given them for free. I don't want to feel like I have to give them a good review because they gave it to me for free, so I'm trying to make sure that I am trying these products, I am playing with them thoroughly before I share them with you, so that you can then know that I've already tested it and tried it. And this is amazing. So I've been watching videos of people doing heat pressing, and lots of them have these like kind of crank ones where you sort of crank it and then it pushes down and you have to work out the pressure you need. You have to work out the temperature. This is amazing because it is bigger than 12 by 12. It has the little plate that comes out. So it's got this plate that comes out. It's got like a mat on the top of it. So it has a bit of squish to it. It's not on, so I'm touching it, but this is the hot plate here. So you put your item on and you just slide it in. You turn on the machine and you just tell it what temperature you want. And I lost the instructions. I didn't even have the instructions for the first, I think, 3 weeks I had it. I couldn't figure out where they went because my husband had tidied them away. But it was really simple to work out what all these symbols mean. Really easy. I've now got the instructions, so I've got them on top. But it is the funnest machine ever. I've made some bags. I've made, I made tote bags and pencil cases. I made PE bags. So there are different ways that you can use the machine. You can do heat press vinyl, which is what you can see here in the back behind my little LOKLiK box. They sent me this as a gift. How cute is this? It came with magnets in it, a whole bunch of stuff, and it fits on your suitcase. So I could take it with me if I want. It is so cute, and they sent that to me for free as a gift, which is so kind of them. So you can do heat press vinyl. You can also do sublimation with it. So I have bought myself a cheap printer off of eBay, And I am going to decant the ink that's in it, which there are a lot of reviews online that say you cannot do it. It's not possible. I will record it and I will try it. I've found a couple of videos where people have done it. So I will see if I can take out this ink and put sublimation ink in, because it's two totally different inks. One's a heat reactive ink and one is your normal printing ink. So I will record that. If it works, I will share it with you, and I'll share with you what I did. But I bought this on eBay. It was like an ex-store model, so it was never used, but it was filled with ink. So I've been printing like mad. I've hardly even indented the ink, so I'm going to have to just decant it now because I really want to get on with doing some mugs, some tumblers with the other press. So I will share that with you. But I hope that you are excited for this sort of next series of product trials and testing. So we're going to dive in and we're going to make our first thing on the heat press. And like I said before, these are going to be longer videos because I got to talk my way through them, because this kind of style of filming is all new to me. And you can speed me up. There's the little button on the bottom right, I believe, where the settings are, and you can put me on to like 2 times fast speed talking. If you want to skip through all the yabber jabber, you can do that as well. And then you can put it onto normal or slow it down when you want to see my instructions on what I'm doing. So when you get your LOKLiK machine, you get the machine. It will come with a power cord according to your country. And then you also get this piece of thermal, I don't know what it is, a thermal sheet. This is what you're going to put over top of your products so you don't burn them or get anything stuck to them. And then you get your instruction manual. So it's very basic. You don't have to worry about complicated anything. The first thing I noticed with this machine, which is so cool, which I was worried about, is I was thinking, well, what materials can I use? How do I know what temperature to set it at? And you don't have to worry about what temperature you're setting it at for the material you're doing. It's about what the material you're using is. So it's the temperature of the heat transfer vinyl. And most of the heat transfer vinyls that you buy will tell you what temperature you need for that material. So with one of the companies I found online, they have little guides, and you can actually like print off the guide, and it tells you exactly how to use the vinyl. So it is all so straightforward and so simple. I was really shocked. One of the things that you will, well, it'll make your life a lot easier, is if you've got a Cricut or an electronic cutting machine, one of the ones that you can sort of download files from the internet. That will give you really fun designs to work with and really unique patterns and things that you can do. If you haven't got that, you can obviously die cut heat transfer vinyl using like a die cutting machine. But bear in mind, when you're doing your designs and prints, you've got to reverse it. So if you're going to do words, you can't do it with a die cutting machine, because your words will come out on your product or on your project backwards. So when you're doing these designs with heat transfer vinyl, you have to reverse them because of the way the vinyl is put onto its kind of backing paper, or release sheet, I should say. So it'll make more sense as we go. But I use a Cricut, and I'm actually really disappointed with my Cricut, and so I'm going to chat with LOKLiK, because I know LOKLiK also do their version of Cricut. If they're happy with my content and things, and if they want me to, I will review their LOKLiK version, which is identical to the Cricut, and kind of compare those as well and give you an idea, because they do sell like their version of the Cricut. So my Cricut is supposed to be print then cut, and sadly I never used that function until now, but my Cricut is now 2 years old, and so my print then cut laser doesn't work. So the laser was broken at some point, maybe in transport from Amazon to my house. I don't know, but I never ever used that setting, and it doesn't work, and now it's not under warranty, and they said there's nothing they can do for me. I have to buy a whole new machine. So I cannot do fun designs using thermal paper. So I've got this like transferred paper, and you can print from your normal printer onto the paper, and then you can cut it out and stick it onto your project, like a bag I've done for my son. Now the problem is if you've got a Cricut that has print then cut, you can obviously print it on your printer, and then the Cricut will cut it right around the very detailed edge. Now mine doesn't do that because the laser doesn't work, so I have to manually fussy cut out my images, which isn't the end of the world, but if you know me, I hate fussy cutting. So it kind of bothers me that I've bought this machine that should do it and doesn't do it, but I also didn't play with it within warranty, so there's not much I can do. But I do know that the LOKLiK brand also do their version of Cricut. I don't know what it's like, and I don't know the quality and how good it is, but they do that version where they have the print and cut settings on there as well, and the machine is less than a Cricut. This machine is quite big. It is a bit heavy. Well, it's quite heavy actually, but I can carry it. I can lift it. Although my husband did carry it up to the loft for me to put in my office. You just plug it in. It'll beep when you've got power to the machine. You turn it on. And then it automatically pops up with the settings you last used on the machine. So as you can see, you've got your thermal button here. And you've got a timer looking button. I haven't quite worked out what these ones are yet. I think they are settings to like save settings. Now, when it's heating up, it will flash red. When it's ready to go, it will be green. So again, when you're setting your settings, you're going to do it according to what the vinyl is that you're using or your sublimation ink setting. So you're going to want to set it according to whatever your stuff is that you're using. So if you're using heat transfer vinyl, then great. If you're using transfer paper, then it will tell you on there as well what temperature you need to do it on. There's instructions inside that booklet. So when you want to change the temperature, you just hit the temperature button. It will flash. You can change that to Celsius or Fahrenheit. And then, oops, I didn't do it quick enough. So you press it, change it to whatever you want it on. Often a lot of things are 150, I believe. And then the timer is often 15 seconds. So you just set it and it'll flash red until it's ready to go, and then it'll be green. Now, if you don't touch the machine for something like, I think 5 minutes, it turns itself off. So it has got that safety feature as well, which is really nice. But it is such a gorgeous machine. They asked me what color I wanted, and I said I want this teal color, and I have loved using it, and it looks so awesome in my office as well. It is quite big, so when I'm not using it, I will move it to a different surface, but it is sat here for 3 months, and I've used it several times. I've got a bunch of different things over here to play with. I've got a canvas bag. I've got a notebook. I'm going to try and do some vinyl on that. I've also got like a paper notebook. I thought it'd be fun to try putting heat press vinyl on there. I've got black bags. I've got more makeup bags. I've got some of these PE bags. Now, a lot of the bags I've bought and a lot of the products I've got are either from Amazon or from Shein. So I will do my best to link all the products I use for you so you can find them if you want to use the same thing. I've just been picking up stuff left, right, and center whenever I see something cheap that I think I could heat transfer vinyl onto or I could sublimate. I'm kind of buying those cheap things and just having a go and playing with them. Obviously, don't invest in really expensive, high quality things when you're first starting out, because you will muck up. You will forget to turn on the reverse setting and you'll get your print backwards. You'll do the wrong heat setting and it'll maybe melt or not work out, like maybe bubble. So don't buy expensive stuff when you're starting out. Just go with the cheap stuff and you will find that it'll be really fun and really easy. You'll get the swing of it quite quick.
So as I was just saying, you want to go with some cheap things. So I bought these PE bags off of Amazon. I got a pack of 10 or 15 of them for quite cheap. And the first thing I'm going to do is measure how wide they are, so I have an idea of how big I want the names to be. So we're going to make up some custom-made bags, and I'm going to use my Cricut. So I'm going to use the Cricut Design Space to create this, and it's so quick and easy. I'm just going to go in, select a text box, and then change my font to a font that I like, kind of played around with a few different fonts. When I found the one that I liked the most, I decided to duplicate it 3 times and then just change the names. I find that the easiest way. And then we're going to go ahead and change the measurements. So you look at the size there. You can either change it in that box or you can drag it from the corner. I know that I've got about 13 inches to play with on those bags. So I'm going to make them all roughly around 9 inches. I don't overstress it because they're just going nice and flat on the front of a bag. So it's so quick and easy to do. A great way to do a starter project and try out. Now when you go into the Make It screen, you want to make sure you hit mirror. Everything that you do with a heat press is got to be mirror imaged because the sticky part of the vinyl is going to go face up. So it tells you here, make sure mirror is turned on and iron-on material is face the shiny side down. So make sure that in this case, this holographic is going to go down. So that beautiful, gorgeous sort of rainbow color is going to face down onto my sticky mat. and the dull matte side is going to go up. So I've got myself a light tack cutting mat for my Cricut. This is just a no-name brown one that I picked up on Amazon. I think I got a pack of 5 of them for quite cheap. I'm going to cut my vinyl to fit on, and I know that from my Cricut design space, it's told me that it's going to be about 8 to 9 inches long, so I did about 10 inches just in case, because I always get a little bit worried. And then I'm going to go ahead and feed that into my machine and then press the go button when I'm ready to go, and then it will start cutting out the names for me. Now, do make sure that you've got the right pressure set on your Cricut if you're using one. For me, I usually just run it through once and then I check that it peels off okay, and if it does, then I take the mat out like so. If not, I run it through a second time and then I adjust it to slightly harder pressure the next time. So you can't actually see that it's cut out here, but it has done, and I'm going to pull it off. You can see that shiny side was down. Now I'm going to go ahead and weed my names. So I'm going to cut out each name, and then I'm going to pull off all the excess material so that only the name remains, and that's called weeding. And I have this little tool here. I have the actual Cricut tool, which is really, really nice. But my husband decided to use it a few times to take his SIM card out of his phone and bent the whole end. So I have now got a new one off of Shein for only like a couple pounds for a whole set. So I've done the first one on screen with you, and then I went ahead and did the other 2 off screen. And now I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions that come with the vinyl as to what temperature and how long I'm going to press it for. Now 150 for 15 seconds seems pretty standard with a lot of the vinyls, but just double check. And then of course wait until your machine tells you it's ready, which is then going to indicate itself by turning green. Now I'm sorry if the camera footage kind of makes you feel a little bit like woozy. I'm trying my best here to hold my phone as straight as I can. This is all new to me, filming in this kind of way. But here, the machine, you can hear it going down, and then I'm speeding up the press and going up. So this is what I do before I do any of my vinyl pressing, is I make sure the material is ironed first, and so you don't have to get an iron out. The LOKLiK machine will do that for you, so I just go ahead and run it through. Then I've got one of these little lint brushes from IKEA, and I keep it on my desk, and I just remove any lint. Now this is a sticky backing, and it will stick down. However, with these kind of PE bags, it doesn't really stick very well, so I had to stick it into the machine, line it up where I want it, and then I'm going to grab my thermal paper and stick that over the top to protect the machine and protect my item. So don't forget that little extra layer. It needs to go in there to keep it safe. While it's still hot, you're going to quickly pull that release sheet off. Well, slow and gentle, but quite quick once it's done, and then you've got your name perfectly on there. So you can see a little phone stand. I was trying to film it while I was pulling it off. And then I've got my 3 bags done. It was so quick and easy. It took about 15-20 minutes in total, including using my Cricut and cutting it all out. Now I went onto Shein while I was in this whole like buying bags and finding extra stuff to do, and I found these heat press sort of stickers. So they are sticky on the back once you heat press them down. Now canvas is very hard to work with, and it didn't stick to the canvas. I wanted to share that with you. I tried really hard with that one and it didn't work. And the heat settings for these stickers were a lot lower. So it was 130 degrees for 10 seconds. And I did it twice, and then I was able to pull it up. Now I thought, when I did the PA bag, I thought, can we do this notebook? This notebook would be really fun to do. I wanted to personalize this for my daughter. She loves turtles, so I have this cute little book that I picked up for really cheap on offer in a shop, and I thought, let's personalize it and add a little detail. So again, I pressed it, I think I did 3 times. And the machine does the exact perfect pressure. You can see that that book is so much thicker than the bag, and I didn't have any problems with it. It pressed it perfectly. So the first round, you can see it didn't quite stick, so I'm going to do it again. I did it 3 times, and it was beautiful. So I'm thrilled with this machine. I'm going to do a lot more projects with it, and my next go is going to be using sublimation and converting my printer into a sublimation printer, I hope. Wish me luck. So I can't wait to share that with you and share some projects, some more projects using the heat press with you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed it, please do like, share, comment, and come along with me for this new fun journey of all things sublimation, heat press, and that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye.